2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
I can't deny, I feel I'm such a fly guy. Top job, call him Sleepy Hollow when they ride by. I know the haters can't stand it. I ain't got a blemish on my Jolly Rancher candy. Ride on, ride. Top let down. We been through the crowd with the bass up loud. Just slide on the slab when I creep. Take a bath or you put your ass on them seats. Ride. Got the top let down. Leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, choking on that leader.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Ride. Got the top let down. Leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, choking on that leader.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Yeah, I hope you got big lungs if you're rolling with me. I roll quickly, roll many, plus I'm rolling sticky. Hit the road with me, only push it to the 50. Cruising through your city, super sharp, fresh fitted. Hey, too cold with it. Check out the interior, it's hater meeting. Chopper material, get it, then fuck it. Hey, roll another blunt up, hit patchwork, go and fuck with Nico till that sun's up. Hit like nunchucks, he can't stop that. A Lamborghini door
Swinging with tops big.
Hey, clear the way, clear the lane. I'm topless, different from them laws. Want no dogs in my cockpit. Plus I'm throwed off, ain't got my load off. Got about 4 elbows and a quota that no soft. Enough to get me shook up, but now I got the cook up. And since they didn't book us, every time you look up, I'm riding. Got the top let down, leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, choking on that leader.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Got the top let down, leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, choking on that leader.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Hey man.
Let down, leaning to the right with the bass.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Choking on that leader.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Yeah, y'all already know, man. We gonna get to it. Hell of a night. Yeah. Let's get to it. The dream lives on. The dream lives on. You know, hey. Devin the Dream Haney, man, lives on. David Benavidez showed why he should have been the main event. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. Abdullah Mason. Hey, man, Abdullah Mason and that Sam Noakes fight was a dog. Hey, that was a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes, they both dogs. And then Bam Rodriguez, to me, Bam Rodriguez stole the show. He pitched the shutout and then got the knockout on top of that. So, man, we got a lot to talk about. Y'all smash the like button. Smash on the like button. You know what I'm talking about? Smash the like button. Man. Let me see what we got in the comments before we start cooking. Man, we don't give a damn about no tank. That's the last thing I'm thinking about right now. OTB, what it do? What's happening with it? My man DJ 4585, what's happening with it? Mr. Tiptoe, what it do? First Degree said Devin did him like he did Regis. Nah, I ain't doing like he did Regis. It might have been, it might have started to look like that for a split second, but Brian was like, nah, we ain't doing all of that. D. Norman was like, nah, yeah, that wasn't no Regis at all. That wasn't like him Johnson. That wasn't even close. For a split second, it was looking that way, you know what I mean, in that round when he dropped Norman, but we ain't gonna go that far. Yeah, we ain't gonna go that far, but let's cook on it. Let's cook on it. You know, we got to give Devin his respect. We got to give him his props. Be normal, be back. That ain't nothing, you know. 24 years old. That's a learning experience. Let's talk about, man, the whole fight card. The whole fight card was the whole fight card. It was a fire ass fight card. I'm talking about the main card. The main card, that whole from Abdullah Mason opened up the show, and man, Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes really opened up the show. And man, they set the bar high. They set the bar real high, because going after that is like, I gotta show out, man. And let me just talk about that Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes fight. Last night, I had a chance to go back and study Sam Noakes. And Sam Noakes did everything that I saw from my breakdown when I studied him last night. He did everything that I saw. What surprised me about Sam Noakes is that I didn't think that he was going to be able to do that. The things that I saw him do, I saw him, he was great at punching in between his opponent's shots. Every time his opponent would let off, he was great with matching them with a combination and then finishing up to the body. Sam Noakes, I saw a lot of good things from him when I was studying film on him, but my takeaway from the film is the level of competition that he was fighting. I said, he's not going to be able to go in the ring and do none of this shit against Abdullah Mason, because I'm like, okay, well, he's a fighter that stands right in front of you, right? He don't really have no lateral movement, a lot of head movement, but he got that high guard and he stand right in front of you. And I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the things that got him to where he is now, facing the lower level opposition in the ring with Abdullah Mason. I didn't think he was going to be able to, trade punches with Abdullah Mason and get off shots in combination in between Abdullah Mason's shots and things like that. But what surprised me is that Abdullah Mason is a much, much higher level of competition than what Sam Noakes had been in the ring with. And Sam Noakes showed that he was the real deal, that he was able to do a lot of that shit that he was doing against the lower level opposition in the UK. He was able to get, off a lot of that shit with Abdullah Mason. Now, Abdullah Mason showed that he was the superior fighter for sure. He was faster. Abdullah Mason showed that he's a straight up dog. So everybody talking about that Abdullah ain't got no chin because he got dropped 2 times. I knew that was some bullshit, right? And he showed it tonight. He showed that he was a straight up dog, but he did show some flaws in his defense, right? Abdullah Mason's still young, only 21 years old, right? He showed some flaws in his defense, which is expected from a 21-year-old fighter that's just been running through everybody, right? You don't really know what you really got to go to the lab and really work on until you have a tough fight, right? A real tough fight. And, you get hit with shots that you didn't think you would get hit, or you go to a real tough fight that you didn't see yourself going through, right? He seen himself running through Sam Noakes, right, and getting him up out of there early. Well, now this is just gonna make Abdullah Mason a whole lot better, because now he got film to watch on himself, and he know what he could go back and get better on, right? He know what he could go back and get a lot better on. And so that's going to be great. I think this fight right here is the type of fight that a young cat like Abdullah Mason really needed to go to that, that A+ level. This is the type of fight early on in your career for somebody like Abdullah Mason that he needed to go to that next level. Because if he kept on running through cats like that, what was going to happen if he get in the ring with a Shakur or Keyshawn Davis, or a fighter older and more experienced, right? Now he been in there with a real dog, because Sam Noakes showed me that, hey, he's for real. Sam Noakes is for real. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Abdullah Mason could have won that fight a lot easier than what he did. I think Abdullah Mason, one thing I did see lacking in his game is nothing physical besides his defense, right? I saw that he was lacking ring IQ. Like his ring IQ, you know what I'm saying? And that's going to build with experience and more fights. And as he get older, his ring IQ, but his ring IQ was kind of lacking to me because he could have won that fight a lot easier, right? Instead of just brawling with him and going back and forth, that's Sam Noakes type of fight. He should have noticed that he was having a lot of success boxing Sam Noakes and turning him and walking him into shots, right? Using his jab a lot more, right? Going to the body a lot more because Abdullah Mason was going to the body and he was hurting Sam Noakes to the body, but he would go away from him, right? And it's just small things that has to do with ring IQ, knowing when to do it, how to do it, and he's gonna get a whole lot better. He's gonna get a whole lot better with that experience. Like that's a hell of a fight to like he won the title the real way. A lot of these cats is getting vacant belts and you know what I'm saying, fighting Rudy Poots and shit for scraps. He went out there and he fought a real dog. He won the fight. He won his scrap real way, the real way. So shout out to Abdullah Mason for real and Sam Noakes. Yeah, man, I think that Abdullah Mason, if he had to use his jab, box, use his legs a lot more, he was much more superior on the athletic and just had more skills than Sam Noakes. But Sam Noakes, like I said, man, he's a tough fight for any of them cats at 135. And I was sitting there looking at Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes, and I said to myself, did Abdullah Mason just beat the toughest opponent at 135? Not listen to what I'm saying. The toughest opponent at 135, when you look at who Shakur beat, when you look at even shit, who Tank is beat at 135, who has when you look at Keyshawn Davis, who he beat at 135, Sam Noakes was a tough opponent. You know what I'm saying? He'll give any of them dudes a tough fight. So I think that Sam Noakes just boosted Abdullah Mason's resume. And I'm talking about resume. I'm not talking about Sam Noakes is better than the Keyshawn Davis or Shakur Stevenson. Not at all. Like they'll all beat him, but he's a tough fight for everybody. So I think that one fight right there just boosted up Abdullah Mason's resume, man. Putting that cat on your resume, I think it's gonna age well. I think Sam Noakes is gonna go on to do big things in the sport of boxing because he can fight. He tough. He got good hand speed. He got good timing, and he go to the body very well. He don't have a lot of head movement, but hey, his toughness can back it up. And although I do think that Abdullah Mason could have got him up out of there. I think if Abdullah Mason had a really, when he hurt Sam Noakes to the body, if he had a really stepped on the gas and went back to the body, stayed downstairs, and then went upstairs, I think he would have got Sam Noakes out of there. But he wasn't pressing Sam Noakes like that when he would get him hurt. He was kind of more cautious. And that let me know that Sam Noakes got some power. You know what I'm saying? Abdullah Mason didn't want to go in there and just get caught. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to go in there and just get caught with some shit. So, man, hell of a fight. That was a hell of a fight. A lot of people think that was the fight of the night that stole the show. I think David Benavidez stole the show. You know what I'm saying? He was the main event, and he showed why he was the main event, straight up and down. Now, Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes was the most competitive fight of the night, right? He was the most competitive fight of the night. Yeah, David Benavidez stole the show. So, like I told y'all before, why he deserved to be the main event, and that's just what it is. All of that promotion and hype and all that other bullshit, that don't matter. What do you do when you get in the ring is what matters. Straight up and down. And the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, he always get in the ring and show out. That's why he was the main event. Bam Rodriguez, man. Bam Rodriguez is different. When you talk about fighters that's different, you know what I'm saying? Bam Rodriguez is him. He won it in ones. Bam Rodriguez, he went out there and just put on a masterclass. Was so smooth with it, footwork, combinations, counters, head movement, pivots, just jab, everything. Bam Rodriguez is different. Like Bam Rodriguez is on a whole nother level of different, man. And pound for pound, I like Bam Rodriguez better than I do Louis. Because Bam Rodriguez is defensively sound, like he just all around like that. And he went out there and he put on a beatdown. Like he put on a beatdown, but a smooth beatdown. He wasn't breathing hard. He never got out of character. And he showed where he was levels above somebody like an Abdullah Mason when it comes to ring IQ. If you look at Bam Rodriguez, he never got out of character. He didn't try to force nothing. He went out there and he did exactly what he know that he's great at doing. He didn't try to do nothing extra. And he just waited and kept beating him down and kept beating him down and touching him until something opened up, because he knew some shit was going to open up. But I think that Abdullah Mason could have done, because he could have done that shit, right? And then, bam, before you know it, it was sleep. Puma was sleeping. Before you know it, the Puma cat was sleeping. And that's how you put on a performance. So when we talk about the best performance of the night, it's hard to pick, but I got to give it to Bam, because Bam not only dominated, he dominated and got the clean KO. Put that boy to sleep and didn't even, he ain't have a scratch on him, dog. He ain't have a scratch on him. Not a stain on him. He put that boy to sleep and walked out that ring with not a stain on him. That's how you finish the show. So Bam Rodriguez, to me, he was the fighter of the night. Although Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason was the most exciting fight of the night, had you on the edge of your seat the whole night. But yeah, that Bam Rodriguez is different, and he showed it once again. Now, let's go to who next? Let's go to the Devin Haney. Let's go to Devin Haney and Brian Norman. Shout out to Devin Haney. Yeah, man. I thought Brian Norman was going to go out there and eventually get Devin Haney up out of there. I didn't think that the things that Devin Haney was able to get off against a lot of these other fighters, I didn't think that he was going to be able to get those same things off. You know, I didn't think that he was going to be able to sit back on the outside and use his jab, right? Just constantly use his jab and get that shit off, right? I didn't think that he was going to be able to out strength Brian Norman, right? Because you know Devin, he do a lot of holding and a lot of clinching. When you close the distance on him, like I said he was going to do, he's going to clinch you. I didn't think that was going to work against Brian Norman, because I thought that Brian was going to be stronger than Devin, even though I told y'all that Devin is very, very physically strong. I thought he had met his match. And I thought that Brian was going to be stronger than Devin. So I didn't think that Devin was going to be able to, wrap Brian up and clinch him every time he closed the distance. But I was wrong because he was able to do that. He did a whole lot of that shit, but for a minute. And I sure didn't think that Devin Haney was going to hurt Brian Norman and drop it. And he did that. So shout out to Devin Haney. The dream lives on. But I did give Devin Haney his respect the whole time because I told y'all before. I said Devin's a hell of a fighter. I said Devin is an A-level fighter for sure. I said, but I think that Brian Norman is just going to come in here and, take advantage of the PTSD that we saw Devin have in the fight before. But Devin proved that, hey, he back. He don't have that PTSD, that jittery, that he's not jittery like he was in the Jose Ramirez fight. He got that shit out of his brain, and now he's back. And Devin is going to be a problem at the 147-pound division. I don't see none of them dudes at 147 beating Devin. Keep the buck. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the landscape at 147, I don't see none of them dudes beating Devin. But as far as Brian Norman, early on, it looked like that Brian was going to get stopped for a minute. I had Brian going out there winning the first round. We know how the second round with Devin, hey, Devin caught him with some good shots and dropped him. And Brian, to me, he looked like he was hurt, man. It looked like that Devin was going to be able to follow up and get him up out of there. But, he wasn't able to do that. Brian went back. And to me, Brian came back and won the third round after he recovered. But, Devin, man, he showed, man, he was ready for that left hook. Brian kept smothering and falling in with his punches. And every time Brian closed the distance, Devin would wrap him up. But I did see Brian Norman make an adjustment, right? Brian Norman did make an adjustment, and he started shooting that jab to Devin's chest and to Devin's body, and that was giving Devin some problems for a minute. That was slowing Devin down. It was a lot of adjustments being made in that fight, but ultimately, you could see Brian Norman, he noticed that Devin Haney's jab was stiff and hard, and on the outside, it was bothering him, right? So he noticed he had to, go for the kill. And he was leaping in with left hooks and lunging. But Devin Haney with his lateral movement, with his jab, with the way that he knows how to, clinch you soon as you close the distance, that was giving Brian problems, right? It was giving Brian problems. And like I said, man, it looked like that Devin was a little stronger than Brian Norman, especially in the beginning, right? As the fight got to the later rounds, you could tell that Brian, his strength held up more than Devin's. Devin started fading and shit, but hey, shout out to Devin, man. Shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Brian Norman, because I think a fight like this is going to give Brian Norman a whole lot of knowledge. He's another one that's going to be able to go back like Abdullah Mason and realize, okay, what I need to get better on. Watch the film. 24 years old, fighting somebody like Devin Haney that is definitely one of the best fighters in the world, no matter how you feel about him, it's about going in there and getting a win. You know what I'm saying? And Devin, he know how to go in there and win. You know what I'm saying? If he got to make it an ugly fight, that shit really, like, I know a lot of people gonna gas the fight up. To me, the fight wasn't an exciting fight. It was a whole bunch of grappling and wrestling on the inside. I think that Brian can work on, gauging his distance when he fights long-rangey fighters like Devin, instead of, smothering your own punches, right? Letting Devin grab him, because he was closing the distance, but he was letting Devin grab him. And we know that Devin was going to do that. So, but Devin was able to do a lot of the things that he wanted to do and get off with it. So hey, you gotta give respect where respect due, and take your hat off to Devin. take your hat off to Brian Norton because he showed that he was a real dog, right? A lot of people thought, hey, Devin hitting him with them stiff gathering combinations, and I don't think that Devin's got a lot of power. He's sharp. So when you real sharp like a Devin Haney, if you catch a fighter, you know what I'm saying, with the right punch in the right spot, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can hurt him and drop him. It ain't about having a lot of power all the time. If you got respectable power, that's all you need. And Devin got respectable power. And, you know, you can see that Brian was respecting his power, right? Until later on in the rounds when Devin started slowing down and Brian was pressing the action. But I think that Brian was trying to box with Devin early, right? On the outside, mid-range. And that's not how you can beat Devin. You know, man, shut your motherfucking bitch ass up, nigga. Bro, you's a fucking weirdo. What you keep on talking about? Just give the man props. But you want to suck the nigga off or something, dog? Fuck you mean? Give him props. You starting to get on my motherfucking nerves now. You a weird ass nigga, bro. Talking about just give him props. What the fuck do it sound like I'm doing? What you want me to do? Get on my knees and suck the nigga off or something? Fuck you, man. Just get a nigga props. Man, get up out of here with that bitch ass shit you talking. Like, bro, what is you talking about? Some of y'all Devin Haney, some of y'all fighter fanatics be weird, nigga. Y'all niggas be weird as fuck for real. Man, just give him props, man. Fuck you. What does it sound like I'm doing? Like, what you want me to do? Man, you niggas is weird as hell, man. For real. Grown ass me in this shit. Man, just give the man props. Just come on. I seen that dumb ass shit you were saying earlier, and I tried to ignore your stupid ass. Fucking weird ass nigga, man. You niggas on the internet be weird as shit. Ah, damn. My God, like, damn. You try to come on here, you try to break down fights, right? Like you got some common sense. Show both fighters, show all these fighters love. You got motherfucking fanatic in the thing, whining and shit because he want to suck the man off and shit. Like, what you talking about? Like, God damn. Oh, weird ass nigga. Come on, oh, you had him get knocked out. Didn't I just say that? Like, didn't I just say that I had Brian Norman knock the Devin Haney out, but I was wrong? Like, what you want me to say? Niggas is weird as hell. Like, God damn. Fuck you want me to do? Come on and send that nigga a bouquet of flowers or something? Won't you do that shit then? But anyway, like I was saying, you know, Devin showed why he is, and like why I said my last line, why he is an A-level fighter. And, you know, the only thing that we was pretty much, you know, looking at was Devin going to go out and display the same fight that he did against, what's his name? Against Jose Ramirez, right? Was he going to go out there and move around and be jittery and not try to engage here and there and then keep moving? Because I said, if he tried to do that, that shit ain't going to work against Brian Norman. But he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He did that shit in spots, but he more so gave you a mix of the Devin Haney that we saw in the Regis fight with the Devin Haney that we saw in the Lomachenko fight, right? He gave you a mix of Devin Haney overall, right? He did some of everything. But like I said, down the stretch, he did a whole lot of holding, but it was up to Brian Norman, right, to not let him do that, to be able to gauge his distance better. And, you know, like I said, Brian is going to get a whole lot better. But my thing, man, that I'm afraid when it comes to Brian Norman is that they don't have no money, right, pour it into Brian Norman. I hope they don't do Brian bad and put him on the shelf, and then, you know, we looking up 9-10 months from now and we like, man, Brian Norman still ain't got no fight, because we know the situation with Top Rank, right? We know the situation with Top Rank. We don't know what's going on with their fighters unless Turkey want to grab them and put them on big cards. You know, a lot of these Top Rank fighters is sitting on the shelf. Now that Brian Norman is not a champion, right? Now that a lot of people gonna be jumping off the bandwagon because you know that's how people do in boxing. I hope that they don't just throw him to the side and then, you know, he's sitting on the shelf for the next year. I hope that shit don't happen with Brian Norman, because Devin is already set. Devin got the big contract. Devin is gonna go on to have big fights. Now I'm looking forward to seeing Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. I hope Ryan Garcia can beat Mario Barrios so we can get the run back with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And I said today, I got Devin beating Ryan. I got Devin Haney beating Ryan, because now you can see Devin, he's tightened up a lot of things in his defense. Even though a few times, you know, Brian was able to catch Devin, but he was never able to catch him with that clean shot like he wanted to, because Devin was real tight on his defense. You know what I'm saying? He was making sure that he blocked that left hook. And yeah, man, Devin, he went to the lab and he worked on a lot of things. And Devin, I hope he stayed with Mickey Bay, because Mickey Bay, Devin always looked good with Mickey Bay. You know what I'm saying? Devin always looked good with Mickey Bay, and I don't think that he needs to continue to change trainers, you know. Let Bill Haney get out the way and stand on the side and let Mickey Bay do his thing. And that's going to be real good for Devin. But I would love to see Devin and Conor Ben. I think that's a tough fight. You know, I think that Devin beats Ryan Garcia in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? I think he outboxes Ryan Garcia and make Ryan, because Ryan Garcia, he's shown that he a one-trick pony. Ryan Garcia gonna live and die off that left hook, right? And when Ryan Garcia can't hit you with that left hook, and 9 times out of 10 he will land it, but when he can't land it, can Ryan Garcia outbox a Devin Haney? And he can't. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I noticed that was a lot different, and you know what I'm saying, we're going to say because he was on that Oscar ring. One thing that I noticed, because we look at Brian, and Brian is strong, but Devin was stronger than Brian Norman. Like we seen when they was grappling, Devin was able to put him in headlocks and grapple him and move him, and I didn't see that shit happen, right? But Devin wasn't stronger than Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia was stronger than Devin, but we know it was because of the Oscar ring. That's another thing I like to see. Well, you know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia coming there clean off of that Oscar ring. Is he gonna be able to match strength with Devin? Because he was slanging Devin off of him and shit. He was way stronger than Devin, and I ain't never really seen nobody be in the ring physically stronger than Devin, because Devin is physically strong. Yeah, man. JR Boxing say Ryan will never fight Devin again. No, it's gonna happen. If Ryan Garcia beat Mario Barrios, him and Devin gonna fight again. Mark my word. They was already supposed to fight. What you mean he'll never fight Devin? But like, what you mean? Like, I don't understand what you mean by that, because they were supposed to fight already, and Ryan lost. That contract was already signed already. So you can't say he'll never fight him again. That fight gonna happen if Ryan Garcia go in there and beat Mario Barrios. That's an if. But Mario Barrios leaves himself wide open to get hit with big shots. So I think that Ryan should beat Mario Barrios. And Mario Barrios don't pose a threat like Rolly did with that one shot out. You know what I'm saying? Mario Barrios get hit easy. So Ryan should be able to go in there and stop Mario Barrios. He shouldn't be able to knock out Mario Barrios. Especially if Ryan disciplined, man. Ryan's biggest thing is staying disciplined for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep his mind right. He can't stay disciplined long enough to do shit in the sport of boxing. That's his biggest problem. But I got Devin beating him if they fight again, regardless. Because Devin don't know what to look for, and he gonna make Ryan Garcia one-dimensional. So what he gonna do? He gonna make Ryan Garcia one-dimensional. And once Ryan Garcia become one-dimensional, Devin gonna know all he gotta look out for is that left hook. And he gonna keep his guard up high. He gonna be anticipating that left hook. He said, my man say, Devin health took him a long way. Devin health took him a long way. And salute, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, the dream live on. I thought that Devin was gonna be looking up at the canvas, you know what I'm saying, in a dream once Brian Norman put them paws on him, but he proved me wrong because the dream lives on. Salute to Devin Haney. You gotta give him this respect. And you know, shout out to Brian Norman showing that he's a real dog. Shout out to B Norman showing that he's a real dog, man. Because he showed that tonight. People thought he was gonna fold up once he got dropped, and I knew Brian Norman was gonna come back and fight like a dog. But you know, ain't nothing but a learning experience. Well, we seen Brian Norman, 24 years old, being able to go in there and get in the ring, and shit made it a competitive fight. A lot of people gonna say, nah, man, like in them rounds, Devin was holding a lot of them rounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna give Devin his props, but it was a lot of holding and grappling. If y'all say it wasn't, I don't know what the hell y'all was looking at. In the second half of the fight, it was a lot of holding and grappling because Brian Norman, he made an adjustment, and then, you know, Devin decided, okay, well, you know, hey, I'm gonna fight my fight against him. I'm gonna clinch him. I'm gonna make him reset. I'm gonna rough him up on the inside. You know, I'm gonna make it a dirty fight. I'm gonna make it so that he can't get in the range to where he can get a left hook or uppercut or a right hook off against me. And he fought a smart fight. Ultimately, he fought a smart fight. And he showed that he's a lot stronger at 147. So, you know, Devin is going to be difficult for anybody to beat at 147. I would love to see him and Conor Ben, because Conor Ben is another cat that's real physically strong. Can Devin wrap him up and turn Conor Ben like that? But the thing is that what Conor Ben going to look like at 147? Conor Ben been up at 160, put on all that muscle, and we know what happened to fighters when they got to drop down way in weight and take off all that muscle that they've been working with and put on. That's why Bud Crawford was like, I'm not going to no 154. I didn't put on all this muscle and all this weight. I'm not draining my body and dropping back down to 154 pounds. So don't be surprised if we see Conor Ben come back to 147 and he's not the same fighter. He don't have that same explosiveness and power. But hell of a fight card. He said he won't fight Devin because he'll have the test for PEDs leading up to the fight with him, and he won't be able to cycle. I think that Ryan Garcia is gonna have to test for PEDs with whoever he fights. His next fight with Mario Barrio, he gonna have to test. He already know he know that. So in order for Ryan to do anything in the sport, he already popped dirty. So he know that he can't do whatever he was doing before. So only time will tell what Ryan Garcia is gonna look like, you know, in his next fight, in his fights to come. So now they on his ass. He gotta be tested to the extreme. So it is what it is. But man, I'm gonna give Devin Haney his props. He proved everybody wrong, and he showed that hey, the PTSD that it looked like he had is out the window, and now it's only up for here. I think it's only up for Devin from here, man. I think his confidence is gonna go through the roof, right? He's gonna have another level of confidence, and yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what he do from now on. You know, so yeah. Yes, yes, sir. OTB. My man A1, who's on? What it do? What it do? Salute, salute. But yeah, man, hell of a fight tonight. And then let's talk about David Benavidez. Before I get up out of here, let's cook on my boy, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. David Benavidez continues to show why they call him the Mexican monster. He's a real problem. And the fight went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I said that Anthony Yard was going to come out and he was going to, be able to get a little shit off, and people was going to be saying the same shit. Oh, man, David Benavidez, man, he was getting work for in a couple rounds. Man, Anthony Yard should have did this. And he had to catch. That's what y'all say the same every time when David Benavidez fight. Y'all claim that he was losing the first 4 rounds, and then, man, leave that shit alone. Y'all sound silly with that shit. David Benavidez is a fighter that's going to come out there. He's going to start peppering you up early, but he's going to be settled with it. You know what I'm saying? David, once he get in his groove, he's downhill on your ass. He rolling downhill 150 miles an hour, and you can't stop him. And he just overpowered Anthony Yard. He just showed, man, like, he's just mean. David Benavidez is mean, nasty ass. Like, he just mean and nasty in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez, like, y'all gonna, hey, for the ones that don't want to show him his respect and admit that he just really monster that he is, y'all just gonna keep looking stupid because he's gonna keep proving y'all wrong. And he said that he's going up to cruiserweight next to fight y'all help me. Zordo Ramirez. He's going to cruiserweight to fight Zordo Ramirez. In May, Cinco de Mayo weekend. That shit gonna be big, and he taking it over. Goodbye, Canelo. Hello, David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, man. And that's why Canelo would never fight David Benavidez, because he knew that David Benavidez was gonna get all in his ass, pause, and he was gonna take that crown away from him. You know what I'm saying? He knew that David Benavidez was gonna dog him out, maybe stop him, and take that crown away from him, and take over the Mexican independent holidays and the Cinco de Mayo and all of that from him. He knew that. That's why Canelo would never fight him. He didn't want to get a crown up to another Mexican fighter. He was cool with losing to somebody like Crawford because he's like, okay, well, hey, I can lose to a black fighter and they still gonna love me. But if I lose to the Mexican fighter, everybody that love, they gonna jump on his bandwagon. That's why. And I've been telling y'all that for years. Canelo Alvarez don't want to pass the torch to another Mexican fighter that he know that beat the shit out of him. And David Benavidez would have beat the shit out of that boy. But David Benavidez is a monster. Salute to Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard's a dog, but he made Anthony Yard submit. He beat him down to where Anthony was like, man, and Anthony Yard been in there with Dr. Bitterby. He been in there with Kovalev, and Kovalev is still like that. He been in there with some of the best heavy hitters, the monsters, all the monsters, but David Benavidez did him nasty. We ain't never seen nobody do Anthony Yard like David Benavidez did. Put hands and feet on that boy. Stumped that boy in the ground. He stumped him all the way in the ground and kept on stumping. But, man, I like Anthony Yard. But, man, I kind of felt bad for Yard. But I knew it was going to go down like that. knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna be nasty, like. And David did, man. And David's scary because David is just coming into. Y'all gotta understand. David was still building his way up to being a real 175 pounder. He here. You know what I'm saying? He here. My man says, Pole Pounder NY say he can't see Oscar letting Zordo fight Benavidez. Zordo's supposed to be fight so early next year. Yeah, I heard Malik Scott say that Zordo is actually in the gym training. So yeah, you're probably right. He probably gonna fight early next year. But the way that David Benavidez said it, they sound like that they already got contracts signed. They already got agreement signed. Like that fight is already pretty much a done deal, unless Zordo go out there and lose or something. But the way that David Benavidez said it, he was pretty sure about that shit. So, and one thing about David Benavidez and Oscar De La Hoya got a real close relationship. They got a real close relationship, like personally, for those who don't know. But man, and when Turkey involved, Turkey gonna make shit happen, right? So for David Benavidez to go out there and announce that shit like he did, he knows something we don't. Turkey probably already told him, like, yeah, that's the fight. But hey, my man say Turkey must, Turkey financing. You know that Turkey putting that bread on the line. If you go out there and you perform like David Benavidez did, you perform like Bam Rodriguez did, you perform like Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes did, even if you perform like Devin Haney, and I hope Brian Norman, I hope you give Brian Norman his respect. If you go out there and perform, Turkey gonna take care of you. He gonna take care of you. But if y'all remember, if you seen my last, I said Devin couldn't. I said that Devin Haney, he couldn't afford to go out there and put on the same performance that he did against Jose Ramirez and expect for, Turkey Al-Sheikh to want to see him in big events again. And he knew that. That's why Devin came out strong, early, strong and sharp. Now, he didn't end like that, right? But he came out strong and sharp, and he showed, okay, if my back is up against the wall, if I know I need to perform, I'm going to show y'all that I'm capable of doing it, and that's what he did. So, David Benavidez over everybody. Man, I miss that. Man, I miss my man. Man, I miss Coach. I got David Benavidez over everybody. For real, it's David Benavidez over everybody until the wheels fall off, Jack. My man OTB Boxing say that could be the same pressure that made Abdullah fight Noakes fight. Nah, because Abdullah didn't have no on him because Abdullah always performed. I think that Abdullah just really got an appetite for smoke. Abdullah just liked it. He just wanted him, like he said, he just liked to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just in him. He a dog. But man, y'all smash that like button. I appreciate y'all for coming in here. The ones that came, it ain't a lot of folks up in here, but y'all smash that like button. And hey, y'all already know how I do. Diego talking that boxing again. And we gone. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button before we leave the building. And salute to everybody.